Once upon a sunny morning in Duckburg, Donald Duck was happily tending to his garden. Little did he know that today would turn into an unexpected adventure with a little squirrel named Nutty. Nutty, the squirrel, was a mischievous little creature with a love for peanuts. He had spotted a jar full of them sitting on a window ledge near Donald's backyard. With his tummy rumbling, Nutty scampered towards the jar, excited by the thought of a delicious peanut feast. As Nutty reached the jar, he couldn't resist sticking his head inside to grab a peanut. But oh, the jar was a bit too snug, and Nutty found his head stuck. "Oh no!" squeaked Nutty, his little voice echoing inside the jar. Donald, hearing the panic squeaking, dropped his rake and waddled over to investigate. He saw the tiny squirrel in distress and instantly decided he had to help. "Don't worry, little guy," said Donald in his quacky voice. "I'll get you out of there in no time." First, Donald tried pulling the jar gently, but it just wouldn't budge. Nutty wiggled his tiny paws, which didn't help at all. Next, Donald exerted some bird-brained genius by using soapy water to slip the jar off, but alas, all it did was cover the jar in bubbles. In his third attempt, Donald found a rubber mallet, thinking he might be able to lightly tap the jar off. However, he was worried about cracking the jar and making things worse. Finally, Donald remembered. Peanut butter. He dashed inside to grab a big spoonful of creamy peanut butter and began coating the jar's edges. He figured if anything could coax the squirrel's head out, it would be peanut butter. Little Nutty was both thrilled and exasperated, but he licked the peanut butter eagerly. Meanwhile, Donald carefully wiggled and jiggled the jar. With a triumphant pop, the jar loosened, sending both Donald and Nutty tumbling back with a splash of peanut butter flying everywhere. Nutty was free. He shook his head and darted around joyfully, leaving peanut butter paw prints everywhere. Donald laughed heartily. "Well, looks like I'm the one who ended up covered in peanut butter." From that day onward, Nutty and Donald became good friends. Nutty often visited the garden, but he always remembered to steer clear of any more jars. And thus, a new friendship was formed through a sticky mess, teaching both that sometimes silly problems require silly solutions and a big splash of fun and friendship. And from then on, every time Nutty craved peanuts, he always knew where to find a friend to help him out, a friend named Donald Duck.